Today's edition of MacVoices is brought to you by Blue Apron. Blue Apron delivers fresh ingredients and recipes to your door so you can cook something new and interesting tonight. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by visiting blueapron.com/MacVoices. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, in just a very short time, I'm going to be getting on a plane for Las Vegas, not for fun and games, but to attend NAB. One of my favorite parts, though, about attending NAB is the SuperMeet. And so it's that time of year when I get to look forward to that. I also get to bring you the organizers of the SuperMeet to tell us what they're doing here this year. First up, going on my screen from left to right, Mr. Dan Berube. Dan, great to have you.
Hello,
thanks for being
Chuck.
here.
How are you?
I'm great. It's good to see you. And his partner in crime, Mr. Michael Horton.
Chuck.
Mike, what? Every time you guys get on here, we start to laugh and have a good time. And we need to get around to the information.
It is. We kind of salute Chuck. He works so damn hard. Somebody needs to salute him.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you guys are the ones that work hard, because every time I come to a SuperMeet, I am just awestruck at the number of presenters.
We hope you will be this year too.
I know better than that. You say that every year, and then I walk in, and it's like, oh my God, how did they do this?
Hey, speaking of the you going to NAB kind of thing, I know you go to the SuperMeet, which we always appreciate, because you run around the tables interviewing all the sponsors, which they appreciate, except for last year when something screwed up technically, right? Or was it last year or the year before?
No, it was last year.
Was it last year? What
Yeah.
do you do at NAB? What do you look for at NAB for yourself?
For me, that's, okay, so Mike is now interviewing me on my show.
Oh, it's much more interesting.
I go for the post-production world track, and as well
do
as
you
just
really?
going,
So you go to that?
Yeah.
The FMC thing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. Go to that. Go to the FCP Works is doing something separate this year, and then of course you got to go to the show floor. Just only a very small percentage of that stuff applies to anything I do, but it's still interesting because it's just a huge toy store.
Is the NLE of your choice FCP work? FCP the X?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very much a Final Cut guy. I've looked at the others, but Final Cut just lets me do everything I want to do, and guys like Steve Martin and Mark Spencer just do such an amazing job of instructing and also putting out great products and things that I absolutely am a dyed-in-the-wool Final Cut guy.
Okay, well, enough about you, Chuck.
Right. Plus at the conference center, they get such great food. That's one of the reasons why I go.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either. Yeah.
I know they give a lot of really good food in the press lounge. If you get a press pass, which I think you get, right, Chuck? Are you press?
I get a press pass.
If you can go into that thing, they have really good food plus free Wi-Fi and all that other stuff.
They usually do a decent job with the boxed lunches, no question about it.
I was just kidding. So, anyways.
So let's get into the SuperMeet this year, and I'm not sure who's going to talk first, so I'll just let you decide. But tell us what it is this year. Do I have this right? The 16th annual Las Vegas SuperMeet?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Can you believe that? It's 16 friggin' years. Unbelievable.
We've been doing this for 16, not 15, 16 years. And we love it so much we got to do it every year.
Yeah, we've done it in every single hotel in Las Vegas.
And apparently after we do it, they blow up the hotel.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they've blown up the Riviera, they've blown up the Stardust, and of course we've done the Rio, 5, 6, 7 times, and they'll blow that one up probably next year. We haven't heard about it, but I'm sure they will. So that's essentially what we do. We do a SuperMeet, they blow up the hotel.
Plus sometimes famous people perform on the same night, like Wayne Newton at the Stardust. Remember that?
When you go back to 10-something years, at the last SuperMeet at the Stardust, that night Wayne Newton was performing his last performance at the Stardust. And of course, all of our audio technical crew from the Stardust was over there doing his show. Everything was breaking down on our show, and they didn't give a crap. It's like they have no deal.
And I think really that was when Apple really started helping us out, and they brought us onto the main strip, if you will, and we were pouring wine and champagne out of paper cups or plastic cups at the Stardust, but then we went across the street, and then thanks to Apple, we were pouring things out of champagne glasses and having a really good time. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that's when the SuperMeet became first class, as they say.
Now, the first SuperMeet I went to, I know was in New York, but which was the actual very first SuperMeet? New York, Vegas, Boston?
Vegas. Right.
Vegas. Okay.
At the Hilton.
It was a little small room at the Hilton. That was the first SuperMeet, and then we were doing them in San Francisco and Austin and Boston and London and Amsterdam and Vegas, and so we were doing them all over.
San Jose.
Yeah, we did a little SuperMeet up there in Cupertino, or San Jose. Yeah, that's San Jose. Or was it? Yeah,
it was San Jose during the one of the SCP Creative Summits.
Yeah,
we actually had a great talk for our keynote with
Randy.
That was great.
Randy Ubelos.
So who knows? Once the new digs at Apple and Cupertino happen, maybe we'll do another event there or something.
Yeah, speaking of all those guys will be down to the SuperMeet, and also probably that FCP Works thing that you'll be attending, and so you'll meet all of those Apple people who are doing that. So that's again the neat thing about NAB is you get to meet all these people who create the tools, as well as all the people who show up to learn the tools, and which Dan and I say is the most important part of the SuperMeet is shaking hands with strangers and saying hi, my name is.
Yeah, making those connections is. I mean, we've talked about it every time. Making those connections is so important. But the amount of knowledge that's being thrown around, both NAB and post-production world and the SuperMeet. I mean, I come away every year. First of all, a little bit inspired, a little bit awestruck, but I always come away with something that I can honestly use every day in my projects, and that makes it worth the trip for me.
Well, with post-production world, you got to thank Future Media Concepts for that. They've really been instrumental in making that kick off, and they always are a gold sponsor with us at the SuperMeet, and I know Ben and Jeff Rothberg and Ben Kozuch, they love being with us, and they're always helping us out. They're one of the first people to sign up every year. And
yeah, they've been with us. They've been with us forever, and which is a lot of our sponsors. They've been with us forever, and they just keep coming back, which I guess means that we're doing something right.
And some of our sponsors who've been with us forever like to merge with each other, and then. Boris. Boris, Imaginary Systems, and Gen Arts. We used to have 3 tables.
Yeah, we used to have 3 tables. Now it's 1 table because they keep, buying each other.
I think it's great, though. I think, they all, and plus most of them are in my town in Boston. So it's great. And we always get new people. We have some new people this year that are pretty exciting. And that's what a SuperMeet is great for. First and foremost, it's to complement, the greatest show on earth, NAB. And it's to give extra entertainment for people to get out of the convention center after a full day and come and network with people and find out some nice, cool things to look at, and then go back onto the show floor and talk more and go to the actual booths that all these sponsors have and whatnot. But, like you said, Mike and I love doing the SuperMeets. Mike, I know we have our tough times making these things work, but we always enjoy doing it in the end.
Yeah, there's always some catastrophe.
Yeah, like this year. I mean,
this year.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean it works out fine, but it's just always like, God, can't these things be easy?
Right.
And live events, as you know, are never easy. So.
Yeah, they.
No, nothing is ever easy, Mike. Come on, you know better than
No,
that.
that's what we always say. If it was easy, it wouldn't be good. So
Right.
it's you just got to make whatever happens to you work, and that's the thing. Because we were in one ballroom at the Rio Hotel, and then just a few days ago, last week, they called us and go, "We're moving you to another room," and that was our big catastrophe this year. And of course, they said, "Oh, it's going to be exactly the same thing." And of course, it's never exactly the same thing.
And smaller room, and it's more expensive. So
That's
so
like,
you got to redo all the
have to
AV and the rigging points and everything, and it's.
Oh, it's crazy. But it's Vegas, and that's what they do. They don't treat you with a lot of respect. We don't want to make this negative. Actually, the room's going to work out much better than the other room. It's more intimate than it is. The other room was kind of cavernous, the pavilion room. This is the Brasilia room, which sounds like a bad wedding room or something like that. But it's going to be a bit more intimate because the ceilings are lower, and so I think it's more conducive to a type of SuperMeet atmosphere. And,
Absolutely. Let's cavernous.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, that has a pretty nice stage on it. I mean, like a real stage.
And that's what's kind of screwed us up, because the stage, we use that big giant screen, and the stage wouldn't fit. I mean, the screen wouldn't fit on that. So now we're having two screens flank the stage. And so everybody will have a really great view. And then we're going to put the presenters on the stage. So the presenters are going to be on the stage. Two giant screens are going to be flanking the stage. And I think it's going to look great.
Let's hope. I mean, typically we have, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, no, it'll be great. But, we got to find, are we going to have a big giant curtain behind them or something? Or?
Oh, yeah. There'll be
okay.
Yeah. It's not going to be you're not going to be on a big, deep stage. They'll be in front of the curtain. So
that'll be interesting.
So what do we have for presenters this year, guys? I mean, that's always the keynote presenter or the featured presenter. I mean, I know you have a lot of things, but who's featured this year?
Yeah, well, the keynote presenter is Oscar-nominated film editor Dody Dorn. Now, if you're a film buff, then you know who she is. She's one of the legends, and she will be our featured presenter. She did, she used to be probably one of the greatest sound editors before she actually moved into picture editing. But she did, as a sound editor, she did things like Silverado and Abyss and Terminator 2, but as a picture editor, she did Memento, which put editing on the map pretty much, and she did Insomnia. These are Chris Nolan movies. She did Kingdom of Heaven with Ridley Scott. She did Matchstick Men with Ridley Scott. She just did Power Rangers, and which is making a whole bunch of money, and so she's going to be our featured presenter, presenter.
I promised myself that I'm going to go see Power Rangers before the SuperMeet.
Actually, it's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, it is. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to go see it.
Well, no, just to be able to tell a story that would otherwise be formulaic. She's going to add her style to it. So let's see how it turns out.
Yeah, I mean, she has her pick of movies, and she chose this one to do, and apparently it's pretty darn good. Now, she's just one of the greats, and we're just thrilled that she's going to be doing this, because she's working all the time. And, to get on a plane from Los Angeles, go to Vegas and do this kind of thing is just it's a real treat for us. And it's generous of her time.
But also we have Steve Holfish, who's going to interview her on stage. Yeah. And Steve has been with us at several SuperMeets in the past, including doing workshops with us at our San Francisco SuperMeet.
Yeah, I didn't remember that. He did?
Yeah, for Avid.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Well, that's pretty cool.
He always interviews people on Pro Video Coalition.
Any movie that's coming out, he finds the editor and he interviews them, and they puts it up on provideocoalition.com.
So I think there'll be some engaging conversation between Steve and Dody. And
also, just for Chuck, we have Thomas Grove Carter, who is going to be talking about how he edited a Ed Sheeran music video with Final Cut Pro 10. And
there you go.
Yeah, Thomas Grove Carter. He's amazing. He's one of the great editors out of the UK, and he has done incredible things for Nike and Audi and Powerade and Honda and in a bunch of music videos. This guy is hot. I mean, he's really, really good. And we just go ahead and you want to.
Yeah, we have, and then some of my favorite people. Adobe's back with us as always, and we have Victoria
Nice.
Yes,
I think it's Nice. Yeah,
right. Who is the developer of scripts and extensions for After Effects, and well, she's director of animation at the Documentary Group, which is a successor to Peter Jennings Productions, But anyway, she's a motion graphics animator, director, and she's with Adobe, and she's going to talk about After Effects along with the one and only Al Mooney. Is going to be back with us, and I'm excited to have Al with us. So.
Yeah, Victoria though is a real badass After Effects wizard.
Yeah.
So she's going to be on stage with Al, and of course we love Al, and because he's been with us for several years, and OWC, we're bringing the great Serena Catania back. She's a filmmaker, and she's going to talk about what it takes to succeed in this business, along with Tim Standing, who is going to talk about, and this is something you would really appreciate, Chuck, how you can avoid the catastrophes caused by disk drive failure. So
I
want to be in there for that one.
I don't have disk drive problems, but that is a place. I've had other hardware problems.
Yeah, but we all need to know that.
I think Serena will be offered some real world experience from that as well. That she was able to survive through that, and I think OWC.
She lost her entire life on in a bunch of disk drive failures, but she was able to get it back.
Yeah.
Paul Ciccone from Black Magic, and Black Magic is going to be releasing a new version, apparently. It sounds like it. Why would we call it this? What's new in DaVinci Resolve? Apparently there's a lot going to be new, and Paul will show us what is new in DaVinci Resolve, which a lot of people now are using as their NLE of choice.
Paul just wrote a really good book on the definitive guide to editing with DaVinci Resolve 12.5. So he's been at it, and of course he came from Apple, and I think that Blackmagic is good to have him with them to develop to really fully realize what DaVinci Resolve can do. I'm pretty excited about it because you've got the free and the dongled version, so it's making great inroads into a lot of places that wouldn't otherwise be able to have NLEs, like schools and whatnot. And I know a lot of people, and I think one of the opening films of South by Southwest was edited on Resolve. So
I think you're going to be hearing a lot more movies just being entirely edited on Resolve, because not only can you edit, obviously the DaVinci Resolve is the best color corrector out there, and so you can do everything on a Resolve as long as you learn how to do it. And so I have no idea what's new coming, but Paul's going to show us. It's going to be a really good show.
And last but not least, by any means, HP and NVIDIA will be on stage with us. For another super secret, because we're still confirming the presenter. But
exactly.
I love having, of course, our super meets are really not about the tool. It's about how you use the tool. So we started out all Mac, and now, of course, we're Mac and PC, the best of both worlds. And we bring editors and, speakers together to talk about the shared experience of creating digital media. And so I think everyone gets a chance to get something they can bring home to them in their edit suites, labs, companies, etc. And one thing that we really love having is a whole bunch of students at the SuperMeets. We always have them in Amsterdam, and we typically see a lot of students coming to our Vegas show when they go with a group of college, other fellow students from their schools and whatnot. So that's pretty fun to see a full gamut of people in the audience, from independent people, students to professionals, working people, creative artists, etc. And people that just come for the raffle.
Yeah, it's always that.
This edition of MacVoices is supported by Blue Apron, the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country. That sentence is a mouthful, if you'll pardon the pun. First is, well, first. Blue Apron is #1. There are a number of competing services out there, but Blue Apron is at the top of the list, with good reason. Second is the word fresh. Blue Apron ingredients do indeed arrive fresh and ready to make delicious meals. It doesn't matter if those ingredients are fruits, vegetables, beef, poultry, seafood. Everything is fresh thanks to the insulated bags and ice packs that are part of Blue Apron's method of getting everything to you fresh. Third is the word delivery. Blue Apron can be delivered to 99% of the continental United States and 99.5% of the so-called food deserts, areas where traditional supermarkets have shut down, requiring the residents to make insanely long drives to buy groceries. The local megamart might not be there, but Blue Apron can be. That might imply that Blue Apron is expensive, food desert or not. To the contrary, Blue Apron meals are under $10 per person, making them affordable in those out-of-the-way places as well as those in-the-way places. Try to order a meal comparable to a Blue Apron meal at that price at a local restaurant, and it's not going to measure up. Of course, to accomplish all this, Blue Apron has to have some great logistics going on in the background. Logistics like partnerships with over 150 local farms, fisheries, and ranchers across the United States. Sustainably sourced seafood, responsibly raised beef, chicken, and pork. Regeneratively farmed produce. All are part of the Blue Apron equation. At the bottom line, however, the food has to be good. And Blue Apron is definitely all about good food. Their recipes are both original and adventurous, giving you the opportunity to fix something delicious that will be all but a guaranteed success, since they give you step-by-step instructions on how to prepare your meal. Right now, you can try Blue Apron absolutely free by visiting blueapron.com/MacVoices. You will get 3 free meals delivered free to your door. No shipping, no hidden charges, absolutely free. Then you're going to understand what all the fuss is about because you're going to become a Blue Apron fan. Again, blueapron.com/MacVoices gets you 3 free meals and free shipping. Sign up now and make something delicious for dinner. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. Thanks to Blue Apron for their support of MacVoices. Before we get to the raffle, you just named a lot of speakers, a lot of people that are going to be on stage. So
Yeah.
for someone who hasn't been to a SuperMeet, it's probably worth revisiting how this is structured. It's not like they get up there and do hours and hours of stuff on stage. You know, you have a very, very specific format that makes it very appealing to folks.
Yeah, our platinum sponsors, which are the big logos that you would see at the top of the website, they all have 20 minutes. I mean, that's it. They have 20 minutes to tell their story. And if you really want to learn more about what they're telling, then you go up to them and talk to them about it, because they have a table at the in the vendor area. And that's the deal. They're not going to tell you all, but if you're interested in what they're saying, then go learn more. The nice thing about a SuperMeet is that some of those people, you know, and I say some, are at the SuperMeet, but the others are at the show floor. The problem with the show floor is that it's really hard to get, you know, intimate with them, you know, on a one-on-one, because they're dealing with so many people. SuperMeet, you can actually talk to them at their table, one-on-one, and learn more. And so that's one of the reasons to get there early, is to talk to these people and get your questions answered.
Yeah, they have more educated questions to ask when they go back on the show floor. So, again, we've always felt we've been a great complement to NAB show itself, and along us, there's other community-oriented events like the Media Motion Ball, etc. That's on Monday night. We're on Tuesday night. A lot of cross-pollination that happens between our organizations and with the different companies, and that's why you see the best personalities and the best shared experiences when you go to a show like this in Vegas, specifically NAB show and the SuperMeet, etc. And it's really, I think, still has value in today's world where you can get anything on online the day after or sometimes during the day of with streaming and whatnot. But we won't be streaming our SuperMeet. You got to be there in person to experience it. We'll be recording it and have that on our SuperMeet channel afterwards. But for those that couldn't make it, but the real experience is, again, being in the big top.
Yeah, we're always asked, why don't we stream the SuperMeet? And we just never will, because the whole idea of these kinds of events is to meet face to face. So if we stream it, then they'll say, nah, I'm too tired. I'll stay in my hotel and watch it or any of that kind of stuff. So that's not what we want to do. We want to force you to come out and meet people.
By the way, sorry to interrupt you, Mike. By the way, I'm really saddened by the loss of someone that I really thought would have been awesome to do tickets with us at the end of the SuperMeet, Don Rickles. I really wish that Don. We've been
trying every year to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really sad.
He would have been perfect. Yeah, that would have been a great fit.
The raffle would have taken to 5 o'clock in the morning with somebody like him, but
it would have been one hell of a raffle, though. He didn't.
It would have been a hell of a raffle.
But you know. You have to recognize the hockey puck. What's this, a hockey puck?
Yeah. I did, Mike, you said something I wanted to make sure that we touched on, that you're right. Some of these exhibitors and presenters are going to be over at NAB on the show floor, but not everybody. I'm not going to ask you to name them because I couldn't name them from last year. But I know there were some who were only at the SuperMeet.
Because number one, we can make it really affordable for them, and these are small companies. They can't afford the cost of the show floor, but they want a little bit of presence in Las Vegas, and so we give it to them.
And these companies grow, and then they get to the point where they can be both at the SuperMeet and on the show floor, and it just adds to everything, you know.
I mean, with the expense, and it gets more expensive every single year, but everybody sort of pulls their resources together and tries to help each other out, and that's one of the reasons that people can afford to do this whole thing, because the hotels used to be really inexpensive, but now they're not. And but there are deals to be had. People find it. People are very resourceful. You know, if they really want to go to this thing, they'll find an inexpensive way to do it. And of course, SuperMeets are so inexpensive. It's only $15 for a ticket, and with students and teachers, it's $10.
But for those listening on the show, there's a special discount code to save $5 to get your tickets now online for only $10 general admission.
Right. And that is MacVoices, which hopefully you'll put on your website.
I will. I'll put a lower third right here as well.
So it's
thank
insanely
you,
cheap, and plus you get like free food, which is what, pigs in a blanket kind of. It's like sausage.
It was better than that.
Those little baby carrots.
No, it was. Come on, Mike. It was better than that last year. I mean, you've had steamship rounds of beef, and
we did.
Yeah.
Pastas.
We have carving tables.
Yeah, we just never get to see it because we're multitasking.
I know.
We never get to get any food.
We're in the theater the entire time, so we never get out into the vendor area. So we don't know what. All we tell the banquet manager, just give us the same food that you gave us the last time. Nobody complained, and it's usually good food. So.
It's
but you have to pay for your drinks, so that's another thing.
Yeah,
but the nice thing about Vegas, you're not driving back to your hotel. You're either Ubering it or taxi, so you can get really hammered and be crazy during the raffle. So.
And what's
great.
What's also great about us being in the Brasilia room, it's actually closer to the front entrance. So it'll make it easier for people to access and get in once they get into the Rio Hotel.
Oh, you know what I just found out? The Brasilia room, Dan, remember when we used to do all the SuperMeets in the Amazon room?
Yeah.
And you'd have to walk past the Brasilia room to get to the Amazon room. The Brasilia room is where they had the lingerie show.
Oh,
that's what somebody told me.
Yeah, okay.
So, So the lingerie show it used to run alongside the SuperMeet. So when you walk down the hall, you would walk by all these scantily clad ladies.
Yeah, I always thought that was a really interesting positioning thing that you guys did, the way you encouraged that walk past that.
Yes. You said positioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it was coincidence.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
It was fun, and it still is fun. So,
Yeah.
well, we don't exactly know who's going to be with us.
Yeah.
Well, the Rio is a great I mean, it's a great hotel, especially for this. It's great conference space. It's easy to get to, and there's some yes, you have to get there from over at NAB, but it also has the advantage of being off strip, and that helps in a lot of different ways. And
you can Uber it or Lyft it really easy by going the back roads to get it, and it's very quick to get there. And the drivers know how to get there the fastest way and the cheapest way. Of course, there's shuttles from various hotels, and all that information is up on the website. So it is very easy to get there.
And we're still updating everything. Like I said, we're going to update with HP's presentation. I believe they're doing another door prize again this year with us. So the first 500 people or before 6 o'clock that get into the SuperMeet will get a door prize ticket that we'll give out in a special raffle besides the actual raffle.
So that's just more incentive to get there early. And so any incentive that we can force people to get there early is a good thing, because it does force them to talk to people. Otherwise, they're going to be really bored, and bored after the going around 25 vendors. But it people, especially creative people, it's really hard for them to say hello to strangers. But a lot of them do, and I can't tell you how many people have formed lifelong relationships just by going to events like this. Yeah, that makes us so happy.
People have gotten married over coming to a SuperMeet.
Yeah.
Noah Cadner and Monica Reyna.
Yeah, and they and they're one of our platinum sponsors.
I would hope so.
No, who knew? That's like
if it worked out, that's great.
No, it did. They've been married for over 10 years, I think, or something like that. Wow. So it's working out. So just a good success story.
Yeah,
we've talked about the presenters, we've talked about the exhibitors, and and frankly, I want to throw in my 2 cents, folks. If you can get there earlier, it's a lot easier to work your way around the exhibitors, because things definitely fill up as the evening goes on. But as the evening goes on, we also have something that is known as the raffle.
Yes.
And that's always a big part of SuperMeets. And so I'm going to let you run down some of the things that are going to be given away, because I know if you did all of it, we'd still be here when you're doing the event.
Yeah, we're still.
When you go to the website and you scroll, it takes forever.
I mean, right now we're at over $80,000 in prizes, but we still haven't added all the raffle prizes. We still haven't added the door prize, so. Yeah, we'll see. I think you'll see that reach $100,000 or so before the SuperMeet actually happens.
I'm almost positive we will.
Yeah,
that'll get if not very, very close. But the big grand prize, especially for if you're a colorist, is the Blackmagic Design DaVinci Resolve full professional system. And that's the control surface that's 3 panels. But that's a $30,000 value.
Wow.
It takes up a lot of space. See that table behind you? It'll take up that whole table. So yeah, you provide your own monitors. But $30,000 is what these things cost.
And they'll be giving that out at the end of the Blackmagic design presentation, and I believe they are going first. So yet another reason to get there on time.
You want to get there on time, and because the stage presentations start at 7 o'clock, and then Tangent is giving us a bundle of all their panels, and of course Blackmagic, who gives us an enormous amount of prizes. Giving away micro panels, because I don't know if you are aware of this, but they've just announced a month ago, sort of where they have micro panels, which is one panel for coloring. The control surface actually it gives you all these shortcuts. You use the control surface rather than your keyboard or your mouse. Use a control surface. They're giving away 2 micro panels, a mini panel. HyperDeck Studio, a camera, a micro cinema camera. Nuke Studio is giving away the entire friggin' stuff that they do. It's $9,000 worth.
How do they do that?
I don't know, but they do. And Ripple is, I mean, Tangent's giving away a Ripple, and it just goes on and on. We're giving away hard drives from OWC, the Thunder Bay, the Elite Pro, the Elite Pro Dual, the Drive Dock. The Drobo's giving away the same thing you got back there. It's 5D, and behind you, Chuck. Look behind you. We're going to be giving that away. Anyway, it's that
exact one.
Exact one. In fact, you're bringing it to Vegas, and we're giving that away. It includes all of Chuck's media. So
that'll drop the value, guys, I'm afraid.
We have we're also going to give Chuck away a part of the raffle.
We are, yeah. We're
right.
Lunch
Live
with Chuck.
Yeah.
You guys have threatened to do that a couple of years, and so far I've been able to avoid it. But
well, you have to give us your permission before we list it.
Yes.
Okay.
But anyway, there's right now there's $80,000 worth of prizes. By tomorrow it'll be more. By the next day it'll be more.
We haven't even talked about the software, like Adobe is giving away software, Avid's giving away software, Aja's giving away the IO 4K, Boris, Mocha, everybody, Sapphire.
Yeah, we got a lot of software to give away.
So it's really, there really is a unique opportunity to win something to take back with you and put right back into your workflows, or go back on the show floor and say, hey, look what I won at the SuperMeet. And, it's all it's great synergy for us.
And it's just a fun thing. I mean, some people take it a little bit too seriously, and they shouldn't. But the SuperMeet is just the raffle is just a fun thing. It's a chance to let loose and go crazy. And if you do go crazy, we actually reward you for going crazy. And that's kind of how it works. So it's just a fun thing to kick off the end of the evening before you go to whatever restaurant is still open, which is what, the Peppermill. I think that's the only thing that's still open.
Oh yeah, that's the big tradition that we all do, is go either doing breakfast at the Peppermill, or after the event we'll go to the Peppermill, and you see everybody there.
That's the weird thing about Vegas, is a lot of restaurants close down early, and that's what the heck. All the bars are open, but the restaurants close early, so we always go to like the Peppermill over where it's near the Riviera, and have our after SuperMeet meal there, which consists of 12 egg omelets and things like that.
Yeah, if you go to the Peppermill, you can order one dinner and split it between three people and still have doggy bags. Yeah.
Exactly.
No question.
That's good. That's exactly how it is. So heart attack on a plate.
Yeah. Yep. So let's go over the specifics, and because there was one question too I wanted to make sure we answered. But first of all, so this is Tuesday, April 25th, I believe, at the Rio.
The latest, I think, ever for a SuperMeet, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. At the Rio. And to be clear, you have to have a separate ticket. This is not included with NAB or anything.
No.
This is a SuperMeet ticket, so you need to go to supermeet.com, and if you use the code MacVoices, you get $5 off your ticket.
I mean, which is just ridiculously cheap. Yeah.
Yes, and somebody clarify for me, because we keep saying get there on time, get there on time. What is on time for this event?
The show
opens we say get there early.
Right.
But go ahead.
The show opens at 4:30. Okay. So, anytime before 6 is ideal to get there. And for those that want to be part of the door prize raffle, the first 500 people that come there before 6 o'clock, either or, will get a ticket for the raffle, for the door prize. That is assuming, of course, HP is doing that, but they are.
Yeah, well, we hope they will.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, folks, you need to be there before 4:30 if you want to participate in that door prize, because there's always a line outside waiting to get in at 4:30. So
it's actually fun to be part of the line too. There's a lot of fun people there that make it fun.
Yeah, you always meet some really cool people in that line, and I always do. We just go out and check to see if everybody's okay, and I always meet some really cool people in the line, and they're from everywhere.
Yeah, it's by no means.
Yeah, they're not just United States. They're from everywhere.
It's by no means a boring line at all, so if you want to get the full experience of meeting people from all over, like Mike said, join the line.
Yeah. Because we usually, we go down and give them their badges and things like that, so they don't have to wait for them at the table. So the line is great.
Well, I know I'm looking forward to it this year, like I always do.
But you don't have to wait in line. You just come in with your little camera on a monopod or whatever the hell you use.
Yeah. Well, I have a new rig this year, Mike.
Oh, do you?
Ooh.
Oh yeah. So
wow.
So I'll surprise you guys.
You need to get one of those. Dave Basolto's.
Iographer.
Okay.
You need to get one of those.
You got it. That's what I'm using.
Oh, are you?
That's
nice.
Yeah. That is my shooting rig now.
Well, awesome. Dave will probably be at the SuperMeet, you'll be able to thank him.
Yeah. I've thanked Dave for a number of things. He's been great.
Yeah. I have one for my iPhone, and it's great.
Yeah, it really is. The cameras we have now in the phones and the iPads are just so amazing, and this what you've have an honest to God rig around that. So
yeah, it was just, I go hiking a lot in my local mountains here, and I got a nice DSLR, but I always get better pictures with my iPhone than I do with that damn thing, and so that tells you something about your phone. And
I think all that engineering that's gone into it, it's smarter, I think, than your DSLR. Yeah,
especially with the wildflowers. I just put the phone right next to that wildflower, take that picture, and it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And you can still get that depth of field kind of thing. It's just really nice. So, and it's a phone.
So SuperMeet.com is the website. There's a SuperMeet presence on Twitter, is there not?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've been almost every day. There's 3 or 4 posts about the SuperMeet. The CPUG network. That's the Twitter.
CPUG network is our Twitter handle for the SuperMeets. So, and then hashtag SuperMeet.
SuperMeet.
Capital S, capital M, double E, SuperMeet. And
same thing with Facebook.
I was going to say, have you gone to Facebook?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So what we want people to do is use the social media, tweet that you're going. We'll retweet you on our Twitter feed if you tweet out that you're going and mention our name and whatnot. Yeah. So we want to know who's coming, and definitely when you're at the SuperMeet, definitely be tweeting about it and doing your social media, because that's part of the fun too. It's really cool when we have an event and suddenly you start seeing all these streams of pictures and videos coming out from everyone in the audience. They all have different views, and it's really cool.
Yeah, because we don't have any budget for marketing. We use social media. That's pretty much it. So we rely on the help of everybody to get the word out. So the people who have never heard of the SuperMeet, hopefully the people who are going to the SuperMeet will get the word out to the other people who have never heard of it, and that creates a new audience, which we always do have. But still, we always rely on the people who come to the SuperMeet to market it for us, because we put all the money that we get back into the show, and so we rely on people, and because it is a grassroots event.
Definitely. Well, I will see you two gentlemen in Vegas.
Yes, and we can't wait.
I can't wait either. It's always great. And hey, folks, we hope you'll join us.
Yes, thank you, Chuck, for having us. We really appreciate it. Again, it's supermeet.com. Use the code MacVoices. It only costs you $10.
Great.
Plus ticket fee. What's the ticket fee? Like $10?
The tickets at the door are $20. You want to buy your tickets online for $10.
Yeah, you don't want to buy it.
MacVoices promo code.
Yes.
Right, Chuck?
Yes, sir.
Right, Chuck?
Yes, Chuck. How did this start? Dan Berube, Mike Horton. Gentlemen, it's great to see you. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in Vegas.
All right, thanks for having us.
Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. Listen, if you're at the SuperMeet or if you're at NAB and you see me, please stop by and say hello. Let me know that you heard the show here. Let me know that you heard these two, and maybe that's why you came to the SuperMeet. Until the next time, and as always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes, links to subscribe, and to connect with Chuck on Twitter, Google+, Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo, SoundCloud, the MacVoices blog, the MacVoices Dispatch, our weekly newsletter, and on MacVoices magazine, free on Flipboard that helps you do more with your Apple tech. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CashFly at cashfly.com.